Hi, this is Chris Howard, host of Plugged In with Chris Howard. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from Major League Baseball, NHL, and UFC, and professional golf, BetOnline remains the number one source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline's casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.
December is undeniably the sweetest month of the year, packed with gingerbread houses, cookie swaps, hot cocoa, and figgy pudding. It's a glorious celebration of indulgence, made all the more delightful by the knowledge that January lurks with its inevitable call for New Year's resolutions. But for now, confectionery reigns supreme, and among its sugary subjects, one treat stands tall and a bit curved, the magnificent candy cane. Synonymous with the holiday season, nearly 90% of these iconic red and white striped delights make their way into homes between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Whether they're adorning Christmas trees, crumbled into festive cookies, or nestled alongside the coal in your stocking, these peppermint sticks are an essential part of the festivities. So essential, in fact, that 1.76 billion of them are produced annually in the U.S. alone. In a world of candy cane options, you may not have given much thought to the brands behind the stripes, but that's about to change. And that's why this week's On Brand is on the 4 candy cane kings: Bob's, Spangler, Hammond, and Doscher.
You're all jazzed up, really having a cow. You want your favorite show and it's on right now. It's on Brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa. I'm Jon.
I'm Marisa. Ho, ho, ho!
Ho, 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 ho. Well, well, well.
We are still in our Christmas.
All right, this sets me up for what I want to say. Let's just get this out in the open. So, Marisa has been deathly ill for the last 5 days.
Honey, if you can tell, I'm sorry. If you can't tell, I'm a showgirl. I'm putting on my boots and I'm ready to perform.
You're like Joan Rivers right now, like old and just doing what you got to do to keep the show going.
Exactly.
I leave for Ohio in 2 days. We have to record 3 episodes before that happens.
This is a real log jam.
So
your toilet hasn't been working.
My
Speaking
toilet
of log
hasn't been
jams.
working. I got the Chex tin.
Wait, okay, that's very funny. I was at Vaughn's yesterday picking up a prescription. I'm not going to talk about it, but yes, I have an ear infection. I was picking up a prescription. I sent Jon a picture of rice Chex.
With a Peanuts character.
I think it's Linus.
It was Linus.
Linus on the front, and it's kind of like a retro-looking box. And I thought, oh, Jon will like this. So I took a picture of it and sent it to him and said, this is cute. It looks like a little 80s throwback box. And I knew in the back of my mind, he writes back, he goes, wow, 3 boxes for $6. He was like looking at the little sale tag.
The cereal's on sale. Buy 3. They're $1.99 each.
And you get a free holiday tin.
Yeah.
And I knew as soon as I sent it, I said, I swear to God, Jon's going to buy this cereal.
I did. After dinner last night, I was like, ooh, I need to run over to Vaughn's and get that cereal. I went to Vaughn's. They didn't have I wanted 3 different flavors. I wanted chocolate, cinnamon, and corn.
Sure.
They only had corn and cinnamon. So then I went to another grocery store.
No.
I know. And then I looked at my digital coupons. I had buy 2 boxes of Chex, get another $1 off. So for $5, I got 3 boxes of cereal. And in January or February, I'll get this cute little retro tin.
I'm dying to see this tin because I was wondering, is this can't be like a Christmas tin because it's going to come in months.
Yeah, and it looked like it had been going on since September. And what I want to know, tins nowadays, like you get an 80s tin, it's like an industrial tin.
It's a family heirloom. You're passing it down to your grandchildren.
I don't know if you've bought those Danish cookies at Trader Joe's that come in a tin. Like you lift it and there's dents in it because it is like the thinnest tin.
Oh, for sure.
That exists.
If a loaf of bread sits on it in your shopping bag, it's dented.
Terrible. So
We're always ranting about the state of tin.
Oh, God, don't even get me started on the state of tin. So I also just want to get this out there. Last week's episode was the Rockefeller Christmas tree.
Yes.
You kept going on and on about how you had been to New York. And yes, I had seen the tree.
Of course I've seen it and I would remember for the rest of my life.
So after the cameras shut down, whatever it's called, the cameras turned off and the mics were unplugged, Marisa and David start talking. She talks to David. She's like, hey, didn't we remember when we went to Rockefeller?
Yeah. And we saw the ice skaters.
Yeah. And you're like, did we see the tree? And he's like, yeah. And then she looks it up. They went in March. The tree wasn't up. The tree was still he was probably looking for one in a helicopter.
I mean, when I'm in NYC, I'm looking up at the Chrysler Building. I'm looking up at the Empire State Building. It's a dazzle for all the senses.
That's fine. What I really want with this show is truth.
Okay. Yeah,
and
that's
with
fair.
our listeners, I want pure truth. I put it all out there. I'm telling you these stupid things I buy.
I'll issue a correction that I was wrong. I was not there at Christmas. I did not marvel at the 180-foot Christmas tree. I was there in March. I marveled at the gigantic pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
You probably saw a tree.
I did see maybe a tree. I'll have to check my records.
I mean, it's New York. Maybe you didn't see a tree. All right,
I saw bags of garbage piled up on the sidewalk.
Oh, my God. Remember that when we went to New York? We went to New York together in 2008. And it was
what a strange town. It was summer.
It was hot.
Mm-hmm. I pooped in a Gap.
Yeah, I went to the bathroom in a Gap.
We've said this before on the pod. It is very hard to find a restroom in New York City. You can walk in and they're like,
You got bathroom eyes, baby. Get out of here.
But no, I'll buy something. They're like, no.
I'll buy these $9 clearance pajamas. Get out of here. I did buy $9 clearance pajamas at the Gap. But yeah, now I see what there are people that have TikToks telling you. There's one here in LA that tells you the best places to go to the bathroom and gives you the bathroom codes.
Oh, I love that.
So he's a hero to a lot of people.
Honestly, hotel lobby, can't beat it.
Honestly, you know what the best ones are?
What?
Like a Nordstrom.
Oh.
A Nordstrom's never going to kick you out. They're like, oh, it's on the 3rd floor. You go up there. You have this giant...
It's basically a studio apartment. There's like a chaise lounge.
There is. Right outside. You can invite your friends over to wait for you.
Yes.
It's glorious.
I've never lived in a establishment as nice as a Nordstrom bathroom.
No, and it's like if you have to go number 2 and you go in the room, it's got like shuttered doors. It looks like you're on the set of Golden Girls.
Door to the floor.
Door to the
floor.
Door to the floor. That is all I'm asking. I don't want... Do you remember... We've
5
talked about
stars,
this.
door to the floor.
We've talked about this before, I think, briefly. Like, we were in Hawaii, and I was in what was it?
Bubba Gum Shrimp.
Bubba Gum Shrimp. I went to Bubba Gum Shrimp just to go to the bathroom.
You had a bathroom emergency on Maui, and our closest option was a Bubba Gum Shrimp, which, honestly, I'm surprised there wasn't a line out the door to use the restroom at a Bubba Gum Shrimp.
I know, man. And there was like, that was not door to floor. That was like door to knee. And I'm like in there, and this like kid comes in and just starts talking to me through the door. Yeah. I didn't realize he was talking to me, but he
might have thought you were his daddy.
Dude, I talk about uncomfortable, because the last thing I want to do in a bathroom is talk to a kid. Like,
I'm telling you, welcome to my world. I haven't used the bathroom without talking to a kid in 6 years.
I bet. Yeah.
Don't recommend it. Not fun.
Yeah.
Not
so
fun.
That was a good memory. So this is our last show before Christmas is officially over.
Yeah, and the holidays, they could be a stressful time. We're happy to offer everybody a little respite from the stresses of the holiday season. Maybe you're listening to this on an airplane.
Possibly. I wanted to ask you about something.
Sure.
Christmas cards.
Oh, yes.
So I found a pile of Christmas cards today from last year that I haven't opened. Mm-hmm. I'm going to open...
Wait.
I found a pile of Christmas cards today from last year that I haven't opened.
Why? But like, I know how you... Okay, I get not wanting to open mail. Because I at certain times in my life, I'm like you... don't want to get the mail because it's like bills. It's like I've gotten my power shut off.
The funny thing is I get an email every day from the USPS telling me what mail I'll be getting that day, and I still don't want to go get the mail.
A Christmas card is quite fun mail. It's like the best mail.
It is the best. Well,
so what part of you, I mean, a check, money would be the best, I guess.
Great.
But like a little red envelope with like a handwritten address from like a friend far away. Like
this wasn't planned. Here's what happens. Because I go home. I'm going home in 2 days. It's like December 19th. I'm going home. I get a lot of cards while I'm away.
Yeah,
so a lot of times I'll come home. I'll put them in a little pile. I'll go through my mail. Make my little card pile. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to open these later today. I can make some hot chocolate, put on my last Christmas movie of the year. I'll open my cards.
January 2nd, you're like watching your last Christmas movie of the year.
This is December 31st. Thank you. I'll watch them. And, through January. I got to get Hot Frosty. I have started Hot Frosty. And then I just forgot about them, and I just find them in a pile, and I feel terrible. But that isn't even what I was going to ask.
Okay.
My question is, like, the cards that you get, and I don't want to insult anybody. Everybody do what they want to do.
Sure.
But, like, what do you want from a Christmas card? Do you want, like, a card where there's a note and they're thinking about you? Where are you at? I worked with someone once. I watched him get Christmas cards. I was in his house one day, and he opened his Christmas card, read it, and dropped it in the trash. That's all he wanted out of the Christmas card.
I can't believe that.
I have piles that go back years, but like now you get so many cards, it's just a photo and it's just like there's no writing on it at all. It's like I don't know your children. I'm happy that you guys are continuing to live and everybody's around.
Continuing to live.
But I don't.
There's one less child in this photo than there was last year. No note though, so I'll guess they shipped them off.
I used to know someone that would make for their family like a
newsletter,
like a fearless flyer, basically. Like, here's everything.
Is that good? Do people like that?
Now I feel like that would be kind of fun. Like,
it's not like boastful, like little Chabby made the lacrosse team.
Sure, but yeah, it gives me something to read in the bathroom.
You will not be reading it.
Well,
you'll be reading it one calendar year later when you don't know what the update is from this child. A lot could have happened. This child could be in prison by the time you read this card.
I call, it's like, has her arm healed? She's like, she's in college. Yeah, it healed 8 years ago.
Oh my God.
So you guys, do you do the family card?
We have done it in the past. Usually I put my Christmas energy elsewhere. Have you read the cards then from last year? Did you get to it?
No,
Okay, so you're going to have a really big stack when you come back in January.
I combined them with the ones I've already gotten this year.
Put on Hot Frosty, this is why I like to open them early, because then you have them as you display them. You enjoy them for a full month and then you can toss them in January.
I get it. I know what I'm supposed to do. I can't help but notice that I don't see Elf. Are you not doing Elf this year?
Oh yeah, Elfie's in the tree.
Oh,
Elfie's in the tree back there. This was the first time. We have to maybe speak quietly in case there's a child around.
Oh.
This was the first time that I forgot until the morning. And I had to run in and move it into the tree.
You've been doing it every day.
I've been doing it every day.
Okay.
And the setups are getting progressively lazier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get TikToks. They get progressively more elaborate. And I'm like, good Lord, what are these people doing?
This morning, my daughter said, he didn't leave a note. And then David was very quick to say, sometimes, he has to charge up to do something really great tomorrow.
Don't we all, honey?
So that means tomorrow's must be a real gangbuster.
I saw one on TikTok last week where 2 dressed police officers came to the door, talked to the children, asked them to come outside, asked them if they knew this person, opened the back of the police car, and their elf on a shelf was in the police car.
That is incredible. Unbelievable.
What was Elfie arrested for?
I don't remember.
Public indecency.
And I don't remember how they got out of it because you can't touch them. I don't know if they picked them up with tongs.
I mean, that is not happening in LA. You could call and say, I'm being killed by an elf. And they'll say, your call has been forwarded to an automated message system.
I'll never forget my first experience with Elf on a Shelf was at my brother's house when his kids were very young. I had no idea what this thing was. And one of them wanted to show it to me. And it was doing something in the
We have to do this as a brand next Christmas because this came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I agree. Because I have just learned, I did not know Elf on a Shelf is its own brand. It is not folded into Mattel or any of those other things. So yeah, that would be a great one. I already know one of the ones I'm doing for Christmas next year too. But so I was in, she takes me out in the foyer. The elf is in a bowl of nuts or something. I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. And I went and touched him.
No.
I was going to pick him up.
No.
The look on this child's face, it was like I had murdered my brother. Her eyes got so big and her mouth dropped open. And I was like, what's wrong? And then she looks over to my brother and she's like, he touched him. He touched him. And I was like, what? And then I learned the whole thing. That
means you're going to die in 7 days.
I did. And I did die. It means you'll never open a Christmas card again.
Oh man, that's wild.
The new NBA and MLB season is in full swing, and BetOnline has you covered with the best odds and biggest promotions and live in-game betting on all your favorite teams. Head to BetOnline today to stay updated on all the action. BetOnline, the game starts here.
If you're looking to streamline your audio advertising buys and maximize your revenue, look no further than Triton Digital's programmatic audio advertising exchange, A2X. The private exchange consists of only licensed broadcasters and top-tier internet radio publishers, assuring the quality inventory and brand safety you can trust. Visit www.tritondigital.com to learn more.
Okay, so candy canes.
What's your feeling about candy canes?
Honestly, I feel like this is going to be a hot take.
Okay.
I think they're garbage candy. To me, if I had to pick between I put them in the same category as a candy corn. I would pick a candy corn over a candy cane.
But I swear I see you sucking on a peppermint now and again.
You don't.
What am I seeing you suck on?
Something else curved.
No, like a Werther's or something?
Oh, I love a Werther's all day. There's a brand.
Sure.
All those commercials for like 100 years, that little blonde girl who's standing outside the window.
I mean, I'll cry. You can't talk about it anymore.
The old man, he's like stirring the butterscotch or the whatever it is. So sweet. And he gives her like a fresh one. Oh, can you imagine?
Babe, save it for the Werther's episode. We're talking canes.
No, I just want everyone, if you haven't pulled over like you normally do, pull over right now. Can you imagine?
The shoulder of the freeway is a line of cars right now across America. News helicopters are circling. They're like, what is happening? Everybody is listening to our show.
It's like you go to Krispy Kreme, you get a hot Krispy Kreme. Can you imagine going to the Werther's factory and eating a warm Werther's?
Warm Werther's. Honestly, it's a goal.
There's your Hallmark movie. Oh my God, Hallmark movies. I could go on about everything forever. I just want to talk about product placement in the movies I've been watching.
Sure,
One of them is like Ace Hardware.
It's related to brand, so I'll allow it.
Yeah, I'm watching this movie. It's like, we got to go pick up supplies. They go to this huge Ace Hardware with a big Ace Hardware sign. And then everywhere I look, people are carrying Ace Hardware bags. At one point, they're at the Christmas tree farm eating popcorn out of bags that say Ace Hardware on the popcorn bag. And then yesterday I'm watching one and like, oh, will you go get that tree that Grandma left me when she died? And he goes up to the like attic and picks up the Christmas tree and moves in front of the camera. So it just says like, what is it? That balsam
fir.
Yes, that balsam fir Christmas tree.
Wow,
like,
that's a good brand too. Next year, put it on the calendar, get it on the slate.
We should start doing Christmas brands probably in September next year. But yeah, I'm not a huge peppermint person. I am a spearmint guy.
Whoa. What about wintergreen? That's my favorite mint.
Or wintergreen. I like a lighter mint. A lot of times for me, peppermint is just too aggressive in my mouth.
You like green mints.
I like green mints.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I feel about candy canes kind of like I feel about pretzels. If pretzels are in a bowl of Chex Mix, I'm never going for a pretzel.
It's the last.
But sometimes if there is like a bowl of pretzels, for some reason, I'll eat those. Like if I have no other option that's like adjacent to it that's better. I kind of feel the way about candy canes. If they were mixed in with everything else, I would never go for it. But if I'm really craving something sweet and there's a bowl of candy canes, I would probably eat one. And I really like peppermint as like a peppermint chocolate, a flavor comp, like peppermint JoJo's. I love to get, I like peppermint and chocolate together.
You know what you would like that I got recently from Trader Joe's? Those batons or whatever those are.
Sorry, what?
Batons.
Oh,
batons.
Okay. What is it?
No. Those like tube cookies that have like a cream in them.
The batons.
Right, batons.
Yeah. Yes.
They have a peppermint. They have a peppermint tin.
And you like that?
I did. It's a softer peppermint. It's just not too aggressive.
Interesting.
The most candy cane I probably eat in a Christmas is part of a mini.
You like peppermint bark with white chocolate. But peppermint crumbles on top?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's peppermint.
No, I get it. I'm not allergic to it.
Nobody's made like a spearmint peppermint bark.
I'm not saying everything has to be spearmint.
You're obsessed with spearmint.
I don't love chocolate, but there are chocolate things I will eat.
Sure, that's fair.
But now I'm just thinking about pretzels. I'm thinking about rods.
What's the best pretzel shape?
I do like a rod. I like to suck on a rod, not in a dirty... I like to suck on a rod and get that
So
tip.
just say like, I like to suck on rods, and then people will know what you mean.
So
all types.
As far as pretzels, I like sucking on rods.
If you try to chomp into a rod sometimes, the way it shatters...
You would be so grossed out. I suck on that rod till it is so slimy and all the salt is
Dear
gone.
God.
And then I scrape the brown off.
Oh.
I didn't even do that.
We're talking about penises, right? Right now you scrape the brown off with your teeth.
Oh, God. Oh.
Best in town, they say about Jon.
Oh, my God. All right, let's get to the history of the shepherd's cane.
You know what I'll say? It's funny you say that. Let's talk about the history of candy canes, shall we?
Love to. That's all I really know about it right now is I think that they were inspired by a shepherd's cane.
Can you give like a little sting that sounds kind of like holy and religious, like a little like, oh. Pretty good. Legend has it that the cane dates back to 1670 in Cologne, Germany. Cologne, very fragrant town. The choir master at the cathedral gave sugar candy sticks, to his fidgety choir boys. Do you think that was the only stick that choir master gave to those choir boys?
Okay, it's Christmas. There's children.
To keep the choir boys from fussing around during Christmas Mass and to keep it on theme, he asked the local candy maker to add a crook to the top to resemble a shepherd's staff. The canes were plain sugar sticks. They were not minty, and they were only white to represent the sinless life of Jesus.
Oh, I do like a plain stick.
A straight, plain stick.
I wish I was...
You do like a straight white stick.
I do, and I am a fidgety boy, so I'm relating to this story in a lot of different ways.
Sounds like Alistair, straight and white. Oh, Al, do you want to say what your dad used to say candy canes were made of?
We were always told as children that candy canes were made from ground up fingernails.
What? Why?
He could be your father-in-law.
Why? To keep you from eating them? But that doesn't even... They don't even have that texture.
I think his dad was the Grinch.
You know what is like eating ground up fingernails?
What?
A soft shell crab.
Oh.
Have you ever had one?
No, honey, no.
I only had it once. It's so gross. You literally eat the shell.
I cannot imagine.
Yeah, it reminded me of fingernails.
It sounds like fingernails.
Yeah.
Just because it's soft enough to eat doesn't mean you should. Like, you technically can eat the outside of a peanut, but it doesn't mean you should.
No, the only part of the peanut you should eat is the connector. Toss it all away.
Oops, all connectors. That's your brand.
My dream.
So the candy canes, they stayed plain white for 200 years. Christmas cards of that period show nothing but plain white candy canes. We know that they were still white for a very long time. At the turn of the 20th century, the red stripes and peppermint flavor became ubiquitous, but there is some speculation about how that came to be. Even like the shepherd's hook choir master story, that's like the widely accepted history of what happened, but there's a lot of mystery.
It's all, when you get back to these old brands, I'm going through that right now with my
Yes.
brand for next week. A lot of it just becomes folklore and legend, and you just kind of have to roll with it.
There's no Wayback Machine, so we just take it at its word.
I would like to think that the red stripe came when someone was making like a white stick and got cut, and then they made a red thing, and like, ooh, that's pretty, and then it all evolved from that.
A little blood dribbled in the stretcher machine,
Yeah.
the twister. So there are many rumors about the origin of the stripe. Some speculated that it was a Christian code, and 3 stripes represented the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. 1 stripe was the blood of Jesus, so maybe it was Jesus's blood.
There you go.
There you go. Some also theorized that the candy cane's shape was a J as in Jesus. So it's maybe the most religious candy.
J is in Jesus, huh?
It might have been J as in John.
I love that.
But there isn't any definitive evidence to support this. So, take it at its word.
Is it inappropriate for me to give out my email address?
For what?
My email address is J is for John, but when I made it, I was like, that's so cute. J is for John. And then it accepted it. And as soon as it did, I realized it looks like J is for John. So for like 15 years, I've had J
Which is
for
funny
John.
because that's like even more accurate. And then people start emailing you being like, I have some to mail you. What's your address? Do you have a P.O. box?
Yeah, back in the days when I would hook up, people would be like, wow, this guy loves Holy shit, I found my boy.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas. All right, where are we? Peppermint?
Also, we don't know how peppermint was introduced as the primary candy cane flavor. Peppermint has long been recognized as aiding digestion, which could have been helpful during holiday season because there's a lot of indulgence at that time of year. Peppermint is also a natural animal deterrent. Some people believe that peppermint candy canes were originally hung on Christmas trees to keep rodents and other small varmint, including cats, from damaging Christmas trees.
That's interesting. I could see that.
Those would be quite fragrant canes. I'm not like walking into the room and getting like knocked over by the scent of candy canes.
Well, animals have very sensitive smell.
That's true. Speaking of peppermint, why does mint taste cold?
I feel like I'm in an escape room. Why does mint taste cold? Because it opens up our taste buds and allows more air to hit the surface of our tongue.
That's a really good guess. And I would believe that if I hadn't looked up the answer.
Okay.
So peppermint oil and menthol are used to flavor candy canes. Menthol is an alcohol responsible for the cooling sensation of mint. And we perceive mint as cold because it gets a little sciencey. So put on your Brainiac hat.
As I look at you in your Christmas tree hat.
Nobody knew I was wearing this until you said that.
I know. We wear so many things that nobody ever sees.
I know, unless there's a clip, or you don't follow us on Instagram, you never know that we dress up for a lot of holidays. When menthol connects with an ion channel in your mouth called, this is where it gets a little robot-y, a little sciencey, TRPM8. So normally the receptor is just for cold temperatures like ice water, which you're very familiar with, ice water. But menthol binds with that receptor, triggering it in the same way that something cold would. So it's just kind of like a weird little like glitch in your mouth that happens to like bind with that same receptor in your mouth. Sends a signal to the brain that something cold is in the mouth.
Wow.
That's
So
interesting.
I'm basically right.
You were basically right. If you had like a peppermint, I'm trying to think, like, did they make any like peppermint ices, or would that be like too cold? It'd be like double cold.
I remember
peppermint ice cream is so good.
in high school, I do like peppermint ice cream. Grater's
Okay.
peppermint ice cream. Well, there's like tiny little bits of peppermint in it.
Is it the texture that you don't like of candy canes?
No.
Okay. Well, worth a shot.
I did in high school. One of the first alcoholic drinks I ever had was peppermint schnapps, and that was no good. It was
Oh.
like drinking like mouthwash.
Yeah, no good. No
Not good.
good. No good. Mint and alcohol.
Yeah.
So back to candy canes. There are 4 big names in the candy cane biz.
Let me guess. Bob's.
Well, I did say them in the beginning.
Bob's. One of them is from Cincinnati, though. The one I
Yes.
can't pronounce.
Okay, well, we'll get to it.
Okay.
The candy cane kings, as I am calling them, as I said in our opening, is Bob's, Hammond's, Spangler, and Doschers.
All right,
I don't know if it's Doschers or Dowshers. So if you know this candy cane company, please correct me and I'll clarify in the
I
next
feel
episode.
like it's Dowshers. If I had to
Dowshers.
rank them from elite to trash, Hammond's elite.
You
then-
know these brands?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great.
Then Dowshers,
Uh-huh.
then Spangler, then Bob's.
You could not be more right.
I know.
We're going to go through them in chronological order based on like when the company came to be.
Yeah,
So we're going to start with Dowshers. That's how you would say it, Dowshers, you think?
sure.
Dowshers Candies began in 1871. They are the oldest producer of candy canes in the United States. There's also a lot of like sniping between the brands. Like one brand on their website will be like, we are like the oldest candy. We're like the biggest. We're the like make the most. It's like, guys, who
You all
cares?
make garbage. Who cares? It's just trash candy.
When I'm looking for candy canes, I'm not like, who has been in production the longest? Like, I don't care. And they like all like lie. It's really wild.
I think Hammond's from an outside point of view seems the best. Like they've got I do like that big thicky sticky they make and it comes in. I think they do a cinnamon. They do a thicky sticky cinnamon.
Oh, well, you would like that.
I would love
You
that.
would love that.
They come in a bunch of different flavors. Also at Jungle Gyms in Cincinnati.
I would do anything to go to Jungle Gyms.
I would kill to take you there.
Please take
They
me.
have
I'm going to abandon my family for Christmas. I'm coming with you to Cincinnati, baby.
Babe, you would die in Jungle Gyms. When I go home every Christmas, they have this whole candy cane aisle, and it is flavors. It's like butter flavored candy canes.
Wow. That's Jelly Belly
Lettuce,
territory.
like jerky. Like
I
it's
would like the lettuce
Al
candy
would
cane.
probably- I'll get you a lettuce. I did bring you back some. I think it was Marmite potato chips last year.
Oh, yeah.
and then never.
Gave them
you.
to Al.
And then I looked at them this summer and they were expired. And I was like, well, Al will definitely not eat them now. And I threw them away. It was a tiny little, it was like a tiny little.
You know
pack.
what? You're going to be in Cincinnati in 3 days.
Yeah.
Make it right.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
I'll fix it.
So 1871, Santa Claus. I'll call it, it's Claus.
How
It's
are
funny.
you? How are you just discovering
Well, no,
this?
because I'm thinking, when I read CLAUS, I think Claus. But then I think like Santa Claus.
Definitely Santa Claus.
So I'll just call him Claus like Santa Claus. In 1871, Claus Doscher manufactured their first handcrafted candy in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
So the company is also widely known for its taffy, the French chew. Are you familiar with the French chew?
Okay, this is another thing I bring back every year from
Oh
Jungle
my
Gyms.
God.
And I just found my little stash that I brought back from last time, and they were all hard, and I had to throw them away.
babe,
I
follow
waste too
through.
much
What's
stuff.
going on?
I know. And if you're from Cincinnati, just so you can get a visual of me, I'm currently wearing a Frisch's shirt with a hot fudge cake on front, so you can picture that.
We need you to bring back Marmite chips and some French chew.
French chews are
taffy.
great. They come in like banana, vanilla, strawberry. They're like, they're really
Bring them back. So these immigrant brothers, Claus, Santa Claus, Jon and Heinrich Doscher left their uncle's confectionery in Cincinnati, Ohio to start their own company on 5th Street between Broadway and Sycamore. Do you know where this is?
Of course, downtown's
great.
very small.
Forming the Doscher Brothers Candy Company. Somebody then is going to correct me. Some Cincinnati person is going to be like, that's not how you say it. In that year, Claus made their first candy canes. So their manufacturing process involved using real peppermint oil, cooking small batches of molten sugar in copper kettles, hand working to roll, knead, stripe, and hook the canes. They also make Candy buttons.
Yep.
Candy buttons that are stuck to that strip of paper.
Awful. Another trash candy. They're cute and very fun and like iconic looking. Make a piece of furniture out of them. Make it pop art. Do something. But trash candy.
I haven't had a candy button in a long time, but I honestly was never more excited to eat paper than a roll of candy buttons.
Always paper. I mean, it goes hand in hand with like the big ring, the big sucker ring, the candy necklace, like all the wearables. And those buttons kind of fit into that.
You know what they sell though?
What?
Paperless buttons. It's just a bag of buttons now on paper.
Buttons?
And I bet you would like that.
Hello, sharks.
Snack on just a bag of buttons.
Hope someone got rich off of that. Honestly, no. I mean, they're gross. They're like nothing.
It's like that category of candy that's like kind of chalky.
Yeah. But not in a good way, not like a Smartie.
Yeah.
Oh, have you ever seen they make like big Smarties now too, like a jumbo roll.
You know what I love is a Lick-O-Made stick.
I bet.
I love a Lick-O-Made stick.
I'm
like, hey, hold the powder, just the stick.
Babe, I was all about that stick. You would get the jumbo because you got 2 sticks.
Yeah.
I'd toss that powder.
Toss it.
I didn't.
No.
It.
Drink it.
I would think about tossing it, but I had no self-control. But man, I could chomp those sticks all day.
So for 150 years, Doscher's has used the same recipe to ensure that each of their candy canes is perfectly chewy and airy, which is an interesting way to describe candy canes.
That I didn't know. That might make me like it a little more.
They say we use the same copper kettles and time-honored techniques so that every candy cane is a one-of-a-kind piece of confectionery art. Still to this day, each candy cane is hand-cut, making them unique in shape and length, hand-spun and hooked to create a unique shape and design, made in small batches. Their candy canes are known for being lighter and chewier than mass-produced candy canes. They're made with a secret recipe. Do you like lighter and chewier? Is this
I'm just going to say, I'm changing my order. I'm putting them above Hammond's now.
Okay.
Okay.
They're made with a secret recipe that includes real peppermint oil. They have a signature brittle texture. John?
You have some?
I have some.
I was going to say, how'd you get some?
Doscher's, whatever it is. Gourmet, handcrafted peppermint candy canes.
Wow, this is exciting. Did you get these at World Market?
You know, I got these ones from Gelson's, actually.
Ooh.
Look at that. I mean, you can tell it's handmade.
Ooh, that looks handmade.
It's a bit cranked.
A bit cranked.
If he unzips and you're looking at this, oh, wait, they.
Oh, you can kind of tell by looking at it that it's airier. It almost has that, like, there's those peppermint puffs.
Yes.
It kind of has that look.
I think they might have made those too, or maybe it's Hammond's that does. Oh, it's a little crinkly on here. John, will you please indulge us and chomp into this?
Ooh, that's nice. That first.
And see, look at this. They're all brags. The box says America's first candy cane since 1876. It's like, nobody cares. I don't care if you're the first. America's original gourmet candy cane.
That's nice.
Okay. He likes candy canes. You're going to be eating a lot of them today, honey.
Ooh, it's like layers inside. I mean, it's still, if I was blindfolded, I would feel like this is just the texture of any candy cane. It doesn't feel flaky, but it looked flaky.
I really appreciate how, like, kind of hodgepodgey homemade it looks.
It's too pepperminty when I chewed it. I hate it. I just like to lick the outside.
It's super, super pepperminty.
Too much.
This feels more pepperminty than a regular candy cane.
I'm putting them below Hammond's now.
No, they're on the bottom. Now, we will move on to our next candy cane king, Spangler. John's reaching for a sip of water. This water is going to taste really cold.
I know, it's going to taste shitty. It's like drinking after you brush your teeth.
It's going to taste cold. Those receptors are going to send a signal to your brain. John got a brain freeze. Spangler Candy Company was established August 20th, 1906. So now we're moving down in time.
6 years before Titanic.
Exactly. People didn't even know what they had coming.
They had no idea.
Arthur G. Spangler purchased the Gold Leaf Baking Powder Company of Defiance, Ohio. So Ohio is like the candy cane state of the world.
Defiance, Ohio was a TV show too, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
He bought this company for $450. They started just making like baking soda, baking powder, cornstarch, things like that. 1908, Ernest Spangler, I'm assuming that's his brother. I couldn't find who he was in the family on that. Ernest Spangler joined the company and was like, why are we making like baking powder? Let's make candy. It's like those aren't even similar products, but okay, they gave it a shot. In those early years, they made cream peanut butter clusters, coconut balls, hand-dipped chocolates, chocolate bars, ice cream cones, soda pop, and cough drops. And then now it's 1922. They buy hard candy equipment. They start to make like stick candy. 1940, they create their marshmallow circus peanuts.
Oh my.
The company Spangler
God.
that you see on the shelf with candy canes is also the manufacturer of circus Peanuts.
Which would go on to inspire Lucky Charms, which would inspire everything that we've ever talked about.
Isn't it insane how beautifully these kind of start to intertwine?
Circus Peanuts, the most chaotic candy that exists in the world. It's orange, it's shaped like a peanut, and it tastes like bananas. It is madness, and I'm here for it. Like,
I love a bold swing in 1940. They're like, why not? Who cares? I mean, a banana candy doesn't even really taste like banana. It's like, who cares? Like, the rules go out the window.
Yeah.
Everybody's so afraid because, you know what? Any product now goes through so many layers of like market research, testing, surveys. Things get like devolve into nothing. Imagine the boss of a company being like, it's shaped like a peanut.
Oh, so it's going to be shaped, it's going to taste like peanut butter?
Nope.
What will it taste like?
Bananas.
Then? Oh, so it'll be yellow?
No.
Oh.
Orange.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go home early.
It was a bunch of people knocking off early so they could go home and drink a scotch.
I love it.
In 1954, they acquired a brand A to Z Christmas Candy Cane Company. So it was just an acquisition in Detroit. And then in 1980, they acquired the Candy Cane Company of Detroit. 2 candy cane companies in Detroit. Of course, that was meant to fail.
Yeah.
They bought both of them out. And now they call themselves the candy cane capital of the world, which is crazy. They have an attraction called Spangler Candy World, which is an interactive museum.
Interactive.
An interactive museum. I watched like a YouTube video of like a family like vlogging being there. It's like, you know, it's like games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're the only, this is where it gets rude. We're the only major manufacturers of candy canes in the United States. So that's like a little bit, all of these companies are U.S. companies.
What do you mean you're the only one?
That's what they say.
Oh, major. Maybe the word there is major.
Which is rude.
That's rude.
It's really rude.
Spangler's trash, but they do make those peppermint pillows, and I do really enjoy those.
You keep saying things you like that are peppermint.
I never said I won't eat peppermint. It just depends what the peppermint is.
You need a wintergreen pillow.
Can we talk also quickly about how much I enjoy watching hard candy be made? Have you ever, like, the whole process, it always starts with a shot of them pouring out that scalding hot liquid.
I watched a lot of video of candy cane being made.
Yeah.
And it is exactly that. It's a glossy, gleaming blob.
And then they have that thing that they're like trying to like rein it in and it's trying to escape. And
they
then
have to wear these like gloves and like spatulas, and candy canes start out brown and then they turn white as they get air put in them.
Right,
which
they put them on
amazing.
the hooks and then they pull the air into it. The whole thing. There's so many candy stores where they'll do that where the shoppers can watch it being made, and it's really cool.
It's so
especially
cool.
ribbon candy, because then they like pull it out and they'll make little Pokemans inside of it, but they'll pull it out and then they do those ribbon candies, and it's just fun.
It's fun. It's a treat more for the eyes than the mouth.
Right, because then you buy a bag of it and it's all stuck together. I did that. Trader Joe's is currently selling like a peanut butter pillow candy, which is sort of like an old-fashioned candy.
Yeah.
You pick it up, the bag feels like one big block, and then you kind of
Sure.
slam it down, and then they all separate.
You shatter it into these little shards.
Yeah.
So this company, Spangler, they say that they do about half of all the candy cane sales in the United States. So if you go into like a CVS or a grocery store, or CVS, that might be regional, any like drugstore or grocery store, Spangler is probably the brand that you see dominating the most shelf space.
They're everywhere.
They also make Circus Peanuts, as I said, Necco Wafers, Bit of Honey, and Sweethearts Conversation Hearts.
I love all of those.
How fun.
I love the Sweethearts. Do you remember 2018 Necco wafers were discontinued?
Yes.
Spangler actually acquired them at
Yes.
that time. They were their own company. I think they might have been part of Tootsie. I've probably hadn't had a Necco wafer in 8 years, but freaked out that I wouldn't be able to have them. I bought like a carton of them at like Big Lots.
You had to like put in like a business ID number to buy so many. Your EIN.
Man, there is something about a Necco wafer. The size of them is so perfect. They're like consistent but inconsistent. They have a messy
dusty
stamp on it that says Necco. They're dusty, and the flavor combination. It's like root beer, licorice, banana, wintergreen, chocolate. It's like so off the rails.
Necco wafers were my favorite candy when I was like 10 years old.
Yeah.
And it would be, you go to a place that has like old fashioned candy and you could get a whole roll of just chocolate.
Oh, that's the only one that they separated out.
Oh God, they were so good.
Were you just a chocolate girl?
I would even like the licorice, and I'm not like a
I
go-to
love
licorice
the
person, but I
licorice.
like the licorice
I did
Necco.
too. It was really good.
They really cracked the code on that one.
Yeah.
They cracked the code.
Crack the code. Well, and then I think in one of my episodes, Necco wafers were the precursor to the conversation heart.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Okay, so in addition to all those candies, Their flagship product that they are like the most famous for, it's not candy canes, even though they like sell more than any other brand, Dum Dums.
Okay. Now, I don't hate Dum Dums.
Do you like Dum Dums?
I don't. Oh man.
When was the last
Dum
time you
Dums.
had a Dum Dum?
The only time I have a Dum Dum is when I go to Chase Bank because they have them there. And I always will grab like 3.
3?
Always 3.
What flavor?
I try to get the mystery, which I've learned is just like whatever's left over.
No, I have a very fun fact for you about this.
I knew it at one point, but I have forgotten it, so share
so
it.
they make, this company Spangler, they make 12 million Dum Dums every day.
There's no... I thought you were going to say they make 12 flavors.
No, they make 12 million Dum Dums every day.
Because wherever you go, if there's Dum Dum there's 700 Dum Dums
exactly.
there.
They're begging you. They pay you to take Dum Dums.
You buy them in the barrel.
The mystery flavor is created when the machine switches over from one flavor batch to another.
Right.
I thought it was like pineapple. It always tastes like pineapple to me. So as one flavor is introduced, there's still like remnants. It combines with the previous flavor and creates a one-of-a-kind flavor. Oh, I love that.
It's like belly flops. I
Yes.
love it when you find a way to sell trash.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
But to me, it always tastes like pineapple. I don't know. So Spangler's revenue is $81.7 million a year, and they call Byron, Ohio, which is where they're currently located, that's where the museum is, the candy cane capital of the world. So they are just like staking their claim as the candy cane capital of the world.
I don't know how I drive into Ohio from Kentucky, because that's where the Ohio airport is, because of course it's in Kentucky, and it doesn't smell like peppermint.
Yeah.
Everything's in Ohio.
Roll down your windows.
Oh.
Take a deep breath.
There you go.
There you go. And I have some Spangler candy canes for you to try. Look, the box says Spangler since 1906.
Oh, look at it. They even look cheap. They're small. They're sad.
They have the candy cane tradition about the choir master at the Cologne Cathedral who gave his little choir boys some stiff white sticks.
I knew I should have joined the choir.
It's not too late.
Ew, they look so thin
candy
and
canes.
puny next to the...
compared to
look
this.
at the
Doscher,
two.
Doscher.
But, I got to say, the Spangler, beautiful for hanging on a tree. This is a good hook.
Perfect for hanging on a tree.
And I love a tree with candy canes on it. I think I prefer them probably as a decoration than a food.
Wow. Okay. Give it a little lick test to see how the peppermint flavor compares, because the first one we tried, the peppermint was quite aggressive. Let's give this a suck. Give it the suck test, John, not your first rodeo.
I'm sucking it as hard as I can.
This peppermint is much sweeter and more mild. The previous one was very peppermint forward. This is more sugar forward.
This is definitely more sugar forward. It tastes cheap.
I mean, it's maybe more of a budget cane. We like to have canes at every price point. This might be more of a budget cane.
So far, if I had to
gun to your head, which one do you pick?
I would say you're Spangler and I'm this one that's just a little more, I don't know.
High end. Well, let's see where we fall as we meet the rest of our canes. Next is Bob's. So it's 1919 in Albany, Georgia. Robert Bob McCormick began making candy canes for local children. And by the middle of the century, his company had become one of the world's leading candy cane producers. Like, how are they all the world's, the biggest, the capital?
They all need to relax.
It's crazy. Candy cane manufacturing initially required significant labor that limited production quantities. The canes had to be bent manually as they came off the assembly line to create their curved shape. And you know what? Breakage was around 20%.
I believe it. I just broke that one barely looking at it.
You can't sell a broken cane, folks. McCormick's brother-in-law, Gregory Harding Keller, was a Roman Catholic priest who put aside the priesthood priorities to help out with the candy company.
Why can't he do both?
Apparently not. The candy canes, it's like, that's only takes like a couple hours a day. It's like, no.
You can still be a priest. No.
No, candy canes are my life. And they were his life because this priest, Greg, former priest, invented a machine called the Keller machine after his last name that would automate the process of twisting the candy into a spiral stripe, cutting it the precise lengths, and curving the end. There had never been automated candy cane production before his invention, and it revolutionized the candy cane industry.
Part of the appeal to me of a candy cane is a hand cut.
I mean, the difference is clear, but you can only limit so many. This is an affordable cane, as we mentioned. It is a mass-produced cane. It's made by a robot.
Yeah.
So McCormick's, or Bob's, was the first manufacturer to wrap the candy cane in cellophane.
Oh, wait, they all just came raw dogged?
They raw dogged in your stocking, picking up lint, hair, dust. Yes.
They had to be in a bag or something.
I don't think they were anywhere.
Or in like, back then it was probably in like a sheep's intestine.
Everything was in a sheep's intestine for some reason.
Some sort of animal tubing.
But don't you remember like old-timey candy shops? For me in movies, for you in real life, there'd be like you go to the pharmacy. I feel like all the candy is like loose, like sticky candy, like in a jug that like the pharmacist picks out with a tong.
That's true.
So I think maybe they were just like loose in a jug, and they're wrapped in cellophane before they're cooked. Did I tell you that?
Oh, that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Before.
So as the company expanded, so did Bob's candy canes. By the 1950s and 60s, Bob's sweet peppermint treats had become a staple of the American Christmas tradition. They were no longer just candies. This is very 50s. Like the candy cane becomes like decorations. It's like incorporated into all desserts. It's like hanging on your tree. It's like part of the Christmas ritual, maybe more than it was before because they were so affordable because of the automation.
Right. Ooh, you brought Bob's too?
Bob's is now owned by Brock's.
Oh, I was going to ask why you didn't do Brock's.
Some boxes, not this one, unfortunately, but I did see some online. They say Bob's and they also say Brock's. This one only says Brock's, which is very sad.
Brock's,
So
there's been a couple times where I was going to do Brock's on the show, and every time I look into it, I feel like it's like been acquired and it's shrunk down, and it doesn't seem like a very...
I mean, look at this. This is a pathetic cane. Take a moment to look at the hook. The hook, I say Spangler has the best hook.
So far, Spangler has the best hook.
This is the signature hook you want. It has like a slight curve.
But Bob's has crisper color definition. It's like clearly white and red, and this is a little muddled because they do those thin lines.
The thin lines, you prefer just the big stripes?
Well, they do thin lines too, but somehow they manage to keep it cleaner. And then this one, color-wise, looks the best.
Okay, I'm going to suck on a Brock's for a second. I don't like Brock's at all. It tastes like the way the mall smells.
You know what I miss about Brock's? When I was growing up, they had that like Brock's like
in the grocery store, the open candy you could take.
Yeah, like it was like they had a little metal box where you could put a nickel in and take 3 pieces, but we would just steal it.
Honor system.
It was like by the pound, but they had those. I think they were called midgets. I think they were called. Midgets.
I mean, we're historians. That was just what they called it.
I just think that's what they were called. I hope I'm not remembering that wrong.
They were called little people, John.
They ended up becoming like royals, but I think I'm talking about
what flavor were they?
But they were like a little caramel, kind of like the shape of a Tootsie Roll. But there was like it was like all caramel, but then there was raspberry, there was butter, like butterscotch or butter rum. Yes. There was a bunch of different flavors. Oh, and they came in like a shiny colored foil wrapper. I loved it.
I absolutely would steal those from the Brock's. Honestly, how are they not out of business? Because God, my family would even allow this. Like I would get like a bag of bulk candy.
Yeah.
Like from that thing, we put it in a little bag and like I could just, you would like weigh it when you left. I think you would weigh it at the counter or whatever.
I don't think anyone
We didn't have the money system. Yeah. Did anybody ever pay for this? Because I would just like get like 3/4 of the way through the bag and be like, yep, only 1 midget for me. I'm on a diet. Like meanwhile, face covered in candy. Crazy. Our last brand.
Oh, here it comes.
Of the Candy Cane Kings.
That thicky sticky.
We have Hammond's.
Oh.
Hammond's was started by Carl T. Hammond Sr. in 1920, and he started as an apprentice at a candy factory before eventually launching his own company, Hammond's Candy Company, based in Denver, Colorado.
Wow, so this started just 1 year after Bob's.
Yeah. I mean, clearly he was like, God, we should kind of get in the candy cane business.
I kind of didn't know Hammond's was that old. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but for some reason I was picturing it starting in like the 70s.
Oh, interesting.
I gotta say also, so far of the 3 that I've had, I'm liking the flavor of Bob's the most. It's like, it doesn't taste cheap and it's not too pepperminty.
Interesting.
I'm shocked.
You're a Bob's gal?
I'm a Bob's boy.
So there, Carl began making candy canes, handcrafted candies, lollipops, and ribbon candy.
Oh, ribbon candy. It's like so not practical, but it's so beautiful in a bowl.
It's great in like a crystal bowl to be looked at and never touched.
Yeah.
Hammond's Candies in Denver, Colorado makes about 10 million handmade candy canes each year. So they specialize in like, everything is made by hand using the same equipment that they used in 1920. It's like the same recipes from the early days, avoiding significant automation. So they're kind of like the anti-Bob's. The machines at the company's Denver plant date back from the late 1800s to early 1900s. So these are some old ass rollers, twisters, spreaders, kneaders that you're getting.
Well, all that stuff was made so like industrially,
Absolutely.
like they just last forever. I would say just from as a brand lover.
Yes.
Like never having researched any of these brands, Hammond's has definitely made the most impact from a branding perspective. Like they have an identity, they have high class like font and like beautiful rich colors in their packaging. They feel luxe to me.
The branding is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I feel like Al's Googling Hammond's. If you didn't, maybe you haven't clocked this, but even if you don't know the name, if you saw a package, and I'll tell you where you would see it, they have made it into Williams-Sonoma, which is maybe where you've seen them. Stunning retail brick and mortar.
Perfect match. What other place could you buy a $14 candy cane?
Exactly. The brand is upscale. It's traditional. It's kind of nostalgic. It's classic. There's a chocolate-filled candy cane at Trader Joe's right now that some people say is Hammond's.
They do that. I wouldn't be surprised, but they sell that every year, and I've never. God, chocolate and peppermint to me just seems awful.
I love chocolate and
I
peppermint.
know.
And so people like in the busy moms, Trader Joe's Meals for Busy Moms, this Facebook group that me and John are both in, people will speculate that this chocolate-filled candy cane is a Hammond's candy cane that has been Trader Joe's brandified. So if you aren't going to make it to like, an upscale grocery store or Williams and Sonoma or a place like that would have Hammond's, I would say go to Trader Joe's and try the chocolate filled one if that intrigues you. I really am going to get one next time I go to Trader Joe's. I'm really excited about it.
Other fun fact about Trader Joe's Christmas items. If you like almond roca, almond roca is the company that makes that tub of English toffee. Last year compared ingredients, they are identical word for word.
I love almond roca and I love that tub of toffee. That makes total sense.
And you get like twice as much for half the price. They're just not wrapped, but gosh, I buy one of those every season.
You are still sucking on this
Every
cane.
season, every Christmas.
You are still sucking on this
I'm
cane.
a Bob's big boy. What can I say? I've been converted. Though I do think Hammond's will win. I do feel like wow, you really spent some.
Look at this.
I mean, they're gorgeous. They're not like that tight wrap. They're kind of like loosely bagged.
I'm going to compare this side by side, and obviously you can't see this as a visual medium, with our other homemade candy cane that brags about being homemade, which is the Doscher. And I mean, it is like the third bigger, the Hammond candy cane, and quite thick.
The Hammond's looks like what you would get in a.
It looks like what would be in a dog's Christmas stocking. Like it was made of rawhide.
I was going to say it looks like something that Willy Wonka would make.
That is true too. But you know how sometimes like you can get a dog Christmas stocking at Petco and it has like a rawhide candy cane in it?
Yeah.
This looks like more like that than a candy cane. You have to open it up and taste it.
This is like, I mean, what was this? Can I guess? Is this like $3.99?
It was $3.
Yeah.
Which, it's for how substantial it is, it doesn't seem crazy to me. I'm sucking on this bad boy. That's a thickie.
That's a thickie. I mean, for a candy cane. For a man, it's quite small.
It says the serving size is 2. Serving size is half a cane.
I have to use both hands. It's already too pepperminty. Even for like that little bit, that's
It's tingling.
too much peppermint.
Wow, your lips are tingling. This is my favorite on Style Alone.
Oh my God, for sure. But this is not a good hanger because they don't do a tight wrap. They do a loose bag.
And your tree would tip over under the girth of this bad boy. Let's finish candy canes with some fun facts.
I love it.
National Candy Cane Day is celebrated on December 26th in the United States, the day after Christmas.
That sounds like a way for them to get rid of all the extra candy canes. What day should Candy Cane Day be? The day that
really
nobody needs candy canes.
That's a really good idea because the biggest single week for candy cane sales is the second week in December, likely because people are wanting to decorate their Christmas trees with candy canes. 72% of people think that starting on the straight end is the proper way to eat a candy cane, while 28% start at the curved end. You start at the crook or the straight?
I feel like I should say curve just because I do toilet paper under and I do everything different than you guys do, but starting on the curve seems sloppy and crazy.
Yeah, your tongue has to do a little bit too much gymnastics.
I feel like you're going to make too much like drool or something.
Yeah.
It's too wet.
You like hook it in your cheek and it like bulges forward and you're dripping all over your steering wheel. You're eating it in the car.
I like to just like get the tip out and just lick the very flat tip for a minute and then slowly go up and down.
This
on the
is
shaft.
Patreon. This is paywall.
Okay.
The world's largest candy cane was made not by one of these companies, but by a smaller company that has like a local shop. You were saying some places you can watch a candy cane get made. This is one of those places. If you ever find yourself in Ontario, not Canada,
Ohio?
Ontario, California.
Oh, that's not far from here.
It's a small family-run company owned by the same family since the beginning. Logan's Candies is famous for their homemade candy canes, and they've been using the same recipe from back in the 30s. They made the world's largest candy cane, which measured about 6 feet in length and weighing 30 pounds.
That's it. I feel like we could make one that's like 7 feet.
You know what's funny too is because when you see them like knock that giant slab of cane on like the table, I'm like, that's
than 6 feet.
Basically 6 feet.
Yeah, just let it dry.
Let it dry.
Let it dry.
Add a crook, let it dry.
Babe, goals for next year, beat this world record.
You and I are definitely the people to do it. You can pay like $16. And I watched a YouTube video of a family attending this show, and it's really cool. You can see this guy who seems like he's just been working there forever, and he has like good jokes with like the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like just a truly somebody who loves what they do, never works a day in their life.
Yeah.
If you can't make it out to Logan's Candies, look it up on YouTube. It's a real treat.
If you can't make it to Logan's Candies, go to bed.
That's it on candy canes. John, I have to ask.
There's no like, wait, how many football fields is it?
Honestly, I tried to find out.
How do I get to the moon?
I tried to find out how many candy canes are sold in relation to orbiting the Earth, going to the moon, or football fields, and I couldn't find enough data to feel confident about relaying it to you. But I did say that it's 1.76 billion of them are produced annually. Clearly, there is a size difference too, so it might be impossible to calculate because the Hammonds are like, this would be like to the moon like one time. If it's Bob's, it's to the moon 3 times.
Yeah, that is a good point. All right, so I think you were about to ask me.
I'm about to ask you.
Are you asking me per brand or per candy?
This is interesting. Should I say, are candy canes on brand for you? Or should I say, which brand of candy cane is on brand for you?
You know what? Here's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I went into this with preconceived ideas, and I'm ending this with different ideas. I would say, I'm going to go through all the brands quickly. I now would say my new order, taste-wise, would be Bob's,
Brock's,
Doscher, Hammond, Spangler.
Wow.
As far as looks, I'm going to go Hammond, Bob's, Spangler, Doscher.
Wow.
So I'm on brand for all of them. I get something different from each of them. I love the look and appeal of Hammond's. I love the taste of Bob's. I like the hook of Spangler. And I like the Ohio connection and flakiness, lightly in quotes, of Doscher.
You know what this tells me?
What?
You got to make your perfect cane.
Oh, my God.
It has the curve of Spangler. It has the flavor of Bob's.
Hello, sharks. Barbara, I'm looking at you.
The brand is J is for John.
I love
And Barbara's
that.
like, for John, I'm in.
A candy cane full of I'm in. I'll give you $2 million for 100% of your All right, so that's where I stand. You picked it. You researched it.
Yeah.
Where do you stand? Is it on brand?
I'm not going to be with any company of candy cane. Something that is, Christmas is a time where I will always favor the thing that's like nostalgic, handmade, feels old-timey. So if you're automated, get out of here. So Spangler, no. Brock's, no. For me, it would be between Doscher and Hammond. Hammond, I'm intimidated by the size.
It is a little girthy. It's like, oh, can I receive this? I don't know.
You don't think it'll fit in your mouth?
It's like heavy. It's heavy. But then this one, this one is so, it's like bent, but sometimes bent, it's like, it's still, it's on, you know.
If it hits the right spot.
Yeah.
I think I might be a Hammond. I think I'm a Hammond stripe.
I think
with a Doscher size.
I think we all want to be with a Hammond,
Yeah.
but we all end up with a Doscher.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. Well, that was super fun. I learned a lot of things. Perfect branding. I love that you did 4 brands for Christmas. Now we're done with the holidays. Not quite yet.
Okay.
My next episode comes out December 26th. It is not a Christmas episode, but it has Christmas in it.
Okay.
I will leave it at that.
I'm intrigued.
So why don't we give
hang on.
some... What?
I just grabbed some gifts. I wanted to treat Al and John with some little Christmas gifts this year. John, explain what you're opening up.
So I got a bag of Cheesecake Factory's brown bread rolls, which I love. You heat them up with a little butter. There's nothing better. Oh my God, what are these socks?
Wikipedia socks.
Shut.
So you know what? When you host a podcast on brands, you get badgered by Wikipedia. I got John some Wikipedia socks. What else is in there?
You got me the flavor that I would have wanted. That's the one I said
cinnamon Hammond's cane. We'll see if that's a little easier for you to receive.
And my other Gap sock.
John does laundry at my house, and he's been missing this Gap sock for a year.
So, quick story. Our friend Shep, on episode 1 of On Brand, The Gap, our friend Shep gave us Gap socks as a gift. I kept them mint in package for over a year. And then I finally was like, you know what? I should enjoy these. And I wore them one time. I brought them over here to do laundry and lost one. And I have not had it for months. And I have almost so many times bought a new pair just to replace that because I wanted them to be complete. And now they are. Thank you.
I'm so glad
much.
you didn't. And he and Shep bought me the identical socks. So John would say, is my sock at your house? And I would say, like, no, I only have my socks. But then I counted them. There were 3. And that one is yours.
And that's how you learn that you only have 2 legs.
Exactly.
Al, what did you get?
I got a bar of Butler's salted caramel dark chocolate and some Marmite, which is great on toast.
Those are 2 things that I would hate and that you love. And that's what Christmas is. And you would hate all of these. No, you probably like this bread. You can wear this sock.
Ho, ho, ho.
That is so nice. Thank you so much.
Suck on that cinnamon cane. I'm curious to see what you think of that. You'll probably save it until like summer 2026.
Till it's chewy. Maybe I'll take it on the plane. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
I honestly, it never enters my mind that I'm going to get gifts. And when I do, I'm so like thrown by it.
I mean, I oftentimes am not the one who remembers to get the gift, but I just wanted to do this year to say thank you. It's been an amazing year doing the pod with you, Al and John. And it's just the pod is a gift in and of itself.
It really is. I came in here crabby as an apple today, and I'm leaving full of peppermint and a little less crabby.
Great. And now it is time for a recurring segment, John's Ice Capades. John, where did you get ice this week?
Okay, I'm actually going to go back a week because I never got a chance to talk about it, but I recently house sat for somebody for a week, and they had not ice in the refrigerator, but one of those things that you've been trying to get me to buy for a very long time. They had the countertop ice maker. Mm-hmm. And I got to say, it was pretty enjoyable to use. I don't know if it's right for me because my place is so small and I think it would make too much noise for me. It's also nice to look at because it's like a little display case of ice.
Oh.
It's basically like a clear box just full of ice. But it's like, it's never, like as soon as you use ice, it makes more. Like it always has the same amount.
Sounds perfect for you.
So yeah, it was chewy, pellety, great. So that was my ice capade. All right, so I want to do the shout-outs for our Insta Egg, but before I do that, I just want to quickly give a special shout-out to 3 people. These might be 2 of our youngest listeners. They're in Northern California, and it's Declan, who is 10, and his brother Jake, who is 8, and their mom, Kit. And they have just been very complimentary of the pod, and she has said how much her boys love listening to it, and I just think it's so cute. That's why when we
this episode.
I know. This is the perfect one. Hopefully this will be, it'll be cleaned up, I'm sure, enough for it. I mean, whatever. We've done it other shows, so it'll be fine.
If the bleeps are long enough, just you could use your imagination.
Exactly. So a big shout out to Declan, Jake, and Kit. And our Freaks of the Week, if you do not know, every Wednesday, if you're not following us on Instagram, please do, because we do a lot of posts on there. And every Wednesday, I post an Insta Egg, which is a puzzle that allows you to figure out what our brand is going to be that week. And if you guess it right, you get your name put into the Wheel of Freaks. And every episode, we give a shout out to our Freaks of the Week. So this Insta Egg was for the Rockefeller Christmas tree. It was a pretty simple puzzle. It was just a word jumble. And our Freaks of the Week are Skylar Dennison, Steve Steffen, Gail Kayabu, Deborah, and Stephen Drury. So congratulations, you 5 are our Freaks of the Week. Merry Christmas. We'll do 5 more next week.
And while we're giving shout outs, I would like to give some shout outs to some lovely freaks who have left us 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. First, I want to give a shout out to Walking with On Brand. In the past week or two, they have listened to 50 episodes of On Brand, listened to us on many miles, many walks. And they say that they tried a number of other podcasts, but for one reason or another found them lacking. One reason that they love ours is that we keep it clean.
Oh, boy.
And our humor is honest and fresh. So this might not be your favorite episode. That's okay. That's okay. You can't win them all. Shark and Jessica says Costco has fig candles. Gave us 5 stars. Came here from Doughboys, listening to the back catalog and listening to Favorite Brands First. Fantastic. And No Peeking 69. That's a reference to Doughboys. They say, so charming and funny and fun. Reminds me of the friends I like to spend time with most. Very endearing. So sweet. Thank you so much for those nice reviews. Again, if you haven't left us a review on Apple, it really helps out the show. It helps out morale. Again, this is our hobby. It really boosts our mood and brightens our days. So you can go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review there. You can also follow us on Instagram at OnBrandThePod or on TikTok at OnBrandThePodcast, where you can play John's Insta Egg game. You can see some videos from the show. You can chat with us there. You can chat with John as he lays in bed at 2 a.m. Again, you're going to be leaving the convo first because John loves to chat. And that's it. We'll be back next week with an all-new episode.
And remember, we may go off topic, but we will always be on brand.
Ho, ho, ho!
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Are you feeling stuck in your career or lacking employment at the moment? Experiencing symptoms of job dissatisfaction? You might be suffering from a common condition known as career stagnation. But don't worry, there's a solution. Monster.com. Monster.com offers a comprehensive suite of career-boosting tools designed just for you. Our free resume review and AI interview prep tool will help you stand out from the crowd. Need more guidance? Dive into our career advice articles for expert tips and insights. And don't forget to check out our salary tools to ensure you're getting paid what you're worth. Side effects may include a new job, increased confidence, and a brighter future. Consult Monster.com today and take the first step towards your new career. Ready for your next job opportunity? Visit Monster.com now.